Well, Allison, after 8 straight days, early voting is now over, and they're starting to put the equipment away here. They are loading some of the voting equipment onto trucks as we speak after what was a very busy, very record-setting day. In fact, the whole 8 days of early voting set a record. Check out these numbers for the state of Maryland. You had this year 871,828 early voters, according to the state tonight. That more than doubles what we saw 4 years ago in Maryland. That number 4 years ago, 430,573 voters. Check out the video from tonight. The polls were supposed to close at 8 p.m., but if you were in line, you could still vote. Well, guess what? There were folks voting until just about 9:30 this evening here in Landover. We talked to one woman who got here around 7 o'clock. Took her an hour and a half to vote. She absolutely could not believe the line.
It was huge, yeah, and it wound all the way from the bottom of the hill, all the way up around the parking lot. Yeah.
Was that the line of cars, or that was people?
No, those were the people.
And because there were so many people, that's why they're working so late tonight to put this voting equipment away. More than 1 in 5 eligible voters in Maryland has already voted. Democrats outnumbered Republicans in early voting by a nearly 3-to-1 count. Reporting live tonight in Landover, I'm Tom Rousey, ABC 7 News.
Okay, Tom, thank you very much. Well, in the last few days before the election, the State Department is dumping even more documents now in the email investigation. This afternoon, nearly 1,300 more pages were released. The Clinton camp continues to call it strange and tries to shift their focus to the election, of course, with the help of some pretty big names.
Make no mistake, Florida, all the progress we've made goes out the window if we don't win this election.
Clinton is more than doubling her spending on TV ads in these final days.
Donald Trump is spending big money as well in these final days. He dropped about $20 million on spots that are airing this week. Perhaps you've seen them. Today, his wife Melania made a rare speech to stump for her husband.
He loves this country and he knows how to get things done, not just talk. He certainly knows how to shake things up, doesn't he?
Melania Trump says that if she were First Lady, a priority for her would be stopping cyberbullying among children and teenagers. And most polls right now do show Hillary Clinton still leading, but not much by at all. In fact, this race is way too close to call if not all of the swing states right now are within the margin. So this is going to be a race to the finish.
And one more note here. First on 7, another highway sign hijacked, this time at the Clarksville Premium Outlets, where someone changed that giant light-up sign to say Trump 2016. It turns out the control panel was there unlocked. The password was written in plain sight. A similar situation at a commuter lot in Woodbridge. We first showed you this one last night. Someone altered that sign to use vulgar and offensive language about Hillary Clinton. Both have been returned to normal.
All right, cold front finally moving on through. You're going to notice a difference in temperatures compared to what we had today. Record-breaking warmth at 83 at Reagan National to tomorrow when you'll wake up to wind chill factors in some areas that will be in the 40s. A few showers out there right now around the district and the Capital Beltway. Those showers will be gone by early tomorrow morning. Forecast highs a lot cooler than we had today. Only around 63 degrees downtown D.C. We will talk about what to expect for the rest of the upcoming weekend and into early next week, and looking at Election Day, a forecast can't afford to miss.
So look forward to it, Steve. Developing now, a 4-month-old girl is doing just fine after what's being called a road rage incident. It happened on the Beltway near National Harbor. Police say that a guy in a white SUV was driving aggressively when he pulled up alongside a car with a baby inside. And then the window shattered. The car's driver had minor injuries. Police did catch up with that SUV in Vienna. They say they didn't find a weapon in this case, and right now there are no criminal charges as of yet.
Well, we have troubling new developments tonight. Could this deadly bus crash right here have been prevented? Tonight, word the school bus driver involved had a suspended license. That driver was one of 6 people killed in Tuesday's crash. He has now been identified as Glenn Chappell. According to letters we obtained, Chappell's medical exam certificate expired August 31st. That is a federal requirement, making sure that you're fit to drive. Family members say Chappell had no prior medical issues, but it's unclear if he had a health issue at the time of the crash. Stay with ABC 7 for new information on this as soon as we learn it. Well, right now, you can, of course, cross the Potomac into Georgetown by car, by boat, perhaps, or by foot. But how about high above the water in a gondola? Well, the plan is coming into focus, but it's getting mixed reviews tonight. Tim Barber joins us live now. All right, Tim, first of all, what's the price tag on this?
Tens of millions of dollars. Allison, right now I'm standing on the Key Bridge. We're actually walking along it here. And the gondola, if approved, would go on the north side of the bridge. Opponents say this is too much money, but proponents say it could possibly ease congestion both on the roads and on the sidewalks. Alan Crosby has lived in the DMV for half a century. How has traffic changed over that time?
Well, it's gone from bad to terrible.
So Crosby is applauding a proposal to build this gondola